Ah, thank goodness you're here. I, Sam Valentino, private tuned detective, am pleased to see that yet another one of my wild hunches turned out to be correct. It's not really related to animation, but it does involve the current messed up state of the media world. In a past vlog, I speculated that Warner Brothers Discovery and Max dropping streaming distribution rights to the long-running preschool TV program Sesame Street. The show could possibly stream on Netflix while also airing on PBS for first run. Well, that's exactly what's happening. This past Monday, it was announced that Netflix acquired worldwide distribution rights to Sesame Street. I figured this is going to happen, since Netflix is currently the most popular premium streaming service out there. And it's not owned by any big movie studios or similar media conglomerates like Max, Disney Plus, Paramount, Peacock, or Amazon Prime Video. And even with the really rough shape PBS Kids may be in right now, thanks to our current president, who feels like the reincarnation of Prince John, they plan to simultaneously air the new episodes that also drop on Netflix. I figured that may also happen. Of course, when HBO Max first started up in 2020, it was a no-brainer that Sesame Street would also stream there. Well, with Sesame having initially moved to HBO for first run in 2015, among other changes like cutting it down from hour-long programs to just a half hour. And they used to have such a great library of episodes there, both classic and contemporary. Until the Warner Bros. Discovery merger and that Bindlepug CEO David Zaslav came into the picture in 2022. And they went and purged most of the classic episodes shortly afterward. And Max is still aiming to phase out their content aimed at kids and families. So I told you about how they've purged like the classic Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, and some Scooby-Doo and Hanna-Barbera stuff. As part of this, they even decided to go back to being called HBO Max. This is just all too confusing. Given when they first started up with that name, they promoted they had so many content aimed at kids, especially cartoons. But now they're removing all those shows left and right, and looking to go back to the HBO Max name as part of it. Sheesh. But like also stated, regarding the Sesame Workshop's financial issues, given Sesame Street merchandise still sells strongly, that must provide enough revenue for them to fund future projects and such. Now to hope Netflix doesn't decide to back out or cancel the deal, the way they've been canceling such kid and family-aimed content. But I still remember 9 years ago when the Full House survival series Fuller House premiered on Netflix. It was initially pretty successful, because it was one of the few family-friendly Netflix originals at the time. Well, it seemed Netflix has also been kind of phasing out content aimed at kids and families, the way HBO Max has. But I guess some shows and movies are still popular there, like some of the DreamWorks-related ones. And it's been announced they'll also include at least 90 hours of previous Sesame Street material. Let's see, if it's just classic episodes from before the show's cut down to a half hour, that'd be nearly 90 episodes. Still not as much as what HBO Max used to have. Around 650 episodes from 1969 to the present day, until they purged most of the pre-2010s episodes after the Warner Bros. Discovery merger happened. Gee, does that sound familiar? But maybe Netflix will increasingly add more Sesame episodes and specials over time. Also, it's good that PBS will still be able to air Sesame Street, even the new episodes premiering there at the same time as being dropped on Netflix. When the show was on HBO and then Max, there was a 9-month window before those new Sesame episodes could air on PBS, with the special exceptions being the episode each season focusing on their autistic Muppet Julia. Like Zach Wolf said, it's good PBS Kids is all out for the positive portrayal of autism in their kids' plot, to the point where we even have Carl the Collector starring an autistic raccoon boy. That's pretty cute. I'm still hoping that doesn't end up canceled the way a couple of our PBS animated shows just did, because of the Ready to Learn fundings being cut. And with Sesame Street now about to have all the new episodes also premiere simultaneously on both Netflix and PBS, this is good, because now poor children can be up to speed with the show again. Now, that was the initial goal of Sesame Street in 1969, to be aimed at poor or lower middle class families, especially in urban areas who could not afford a good pre-K education for their kids or something. This way, Sesame Street got lots of toddlers ready to start learning once they began elementary school, to the point where even this channel's creator could already read by the time he started preschool. Though with this new season that will premiere on Netflix, the 56th season, they are abandoning what's left of the original magazine-style format they've implemented since the show began. Instead of there being an 11-minute street story, followed by several short segments, often some recurring ones, and concluding with the 5-minute version of Elmo's World, there will now be 2 11-minute street stories in an episode, sandwiched by a recurring animated segment. Or, in some cases, a longer 22-minute story with the animated segments going between both parts. I'm not too surprised by this change, as a lot of Sesame Street TV specials and a lot of Sesame Street storybooks and such take that same approach, instead of the magazine format the series has always did. So yes, this is a silver lining for both PBS and the Sesame Workshop in the dark times you're currently going through. And I wish Sesame Street the best of luck in continuing to educate today's little ones. Also, this weekend, I'm going to be at Anime Boston 2025. Sure, the case of Copley's disappearance has long been solved by me and my friend Inspector Ferdy. But you never know, there could be another mystery for me to solve there. So keep watching this YouTube channel for any further hunches or cases I crack or whatever else happens here.